Hello, 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 hello. And today promises to be a very informative and also interesting discussion. And today we're going to talk about softwares, but not just general softwares, but a kind of softwares that internet cafes use. Now, I don't know how often you've been to a cafe, but aren't you curious? The guy who sits behind that desktop, what is he looking at? What is he doing? How does he know that or how to set up the system so that when it's 30 minutes, then the internet cuts off? Like, it's a magic. It's so cool sometimes, honestly. I've always wanted to just peek and see how it works, and maybe if I'll be allowed to mess around with it. But when I was young, I lacked the confidence, so I never really got a dream to walk up to one of the guys and ask to test out the system or something. Now I'd love to try it, and I will. But for now, I've been able to do Google, of course, and some research, find out some popular softwares that people use when they are starting up internet cafes. But there are two, actually three, that really stand out to me. But one in particular that I remember catching a glimpse of when I was younger, back when everybody was in the internet cafe. No matter how big you are, someone can park his Land Cruiser, get down, and come and pay money to sit behind the computer and use the internet cafe. Because internet wasn't really that common back then. Proud to say, I was in that generation though. And so, without any further ado, let's get straight to it. First up is Senate. Now the cool thing about Senate software is it's cloud-based, and you can use it to monitor all the connected devices. You get their IP addresses, you can block, and you can grant access. Most important part, of course, for every internet cafe is the timing, because they won't be able to keep track of the time manually, so it needs to be automated. He needs to know that once the 30 minutes is up, the system will know and then cut your internet supply, else the company or the business will run into a debt. And Senate is beautiful. The best part is it is cloud-based. That means it doesn't need a dedicated machine that has the that software running on it. No, he can pick up his phone. If he has the right login credentials, he can run everyone's machine from the comfort of his mobile device. Sitting in the corner, you think he's WhatsApping. He's keeping track of all the machines connected, and that's so cool. But of course, you need to pay big money, about $30+ just for the monthly installation. For Ghana here, I don't think it's likely. Maybe in other countries, it sounds like a good deal. Then there's Antamedia. Now let me cast my screen here, show you something small. This is the Antamedia, right? Let's take a look at the screen. Here you see 3 tabs: account details, manage account, and customer details. And account details has been highlighted here, and on the left pane you can see computers, accounts, statistics, setup, and log off. Now let's focus on what we have in the middle here, this chunk of information, and it's so beautiful and it's so plain as well. So here on the right side is the computer's details, the IP and MAC address. Now this is automatic. Since it is connected to one network, you will need to input this manually. So once you click this tab and you type in the username and password, this comes up automatically. Then this is cool. You see, when you go to the cafe, you can either buy minutes, or which is time. You can buy time, or you can buy data. If you are there to do downloads, say, I'm buying like maybe 2 gig. So you sit there till your 2 gig is up, then you go. But if you are buying time, you can buy maybe 30 minutes or 1 hour. But you may not be allowed to do downloads. Once the guy tracks and sees that this guy's download speed is off the charts, he can disconnect you, because it's like a breach of contract. You didn't tell him that you're coming to do downloads. right? So let's say I want to do downloads. So when I go in, the guy will sit behind the system and key in a quota for me. It can be adjusted to megabytes or gigabytes. So let's say I wanted to use the exact amount here, which is 64 megabytes, right? Now, it's likely, if he's wicked and doesn't want me to use all these megabytes, he can decrease my download speed. So I will keep complaining to him, oh bro, the thing makes slow, and you'll be like, oh, network, but in reality, he has decreased the settings here. Now maybe this is just me being pessimistic, but it is a possibility. Same applies for upload speed. You may be there to do uploads instead. Like after this, if you are watching this, it means I've uploaded it, and I may need the services of an internet cafe to get that job done. And it's likely you may also, shortchange me there as well. But the best part is, if you are dealing with just data, if you want to buy just data, you don't need a time limit. You can sit there for 10 hours or till they are ready to close. Just make sure what you have to do is done. So even because they want you to go, it's likely that they won't cheat you that way. They don't have your time, right? As long as the quota is set, they can give you the maximum speed. That just means you get to leave faster and more people will come, right? Yeah, so payment option, I don't know how that will work. And that's pretty much it for Antamedia. And it's really cool. I like it. I love looking at this interface, and I can imagine actually interacting with it. It's user friendly, and it will be so much fun. And so we spoke about Senate. We just touched on Antamedia. The next one is the one I remember seeing, right? And for time's sake, I won't rant about it. I'll just give a brief overview. I happened to catch a glimpse of it at an internet cafe I frequented when I was younger, and I was curious. And as soon as I saw the Crescent Cafe software, as soon as I saw the image attached to that software, I just recognized it like, this is it. And that's what I'm about to show you next. Boom. This is it. This is what I remember seeing those days. And this is straight to the point. Automatic start, restart, and lock of PCs, you get that feature. Dynamic price setting for PC use, you get that feature. URL filtering and bandwidth limitations, also active. USB drive monitoring and blocking as well, and also report generation. So this screen pretty much explains itself. It may look so much once you see it for the first time, but in just this area, it's just a very beautiful interface letting you know the number of PCs connected, and it's so easy. If one person comes in and like, oh Charlie, I won't buy 30 minutes, you literally just tap 30 minutes and say, okay, the PCs too are all labeled. So you point, okay, go to PC 1. Then he goes there. Once the 30 minutes is up, he's done. He say he wants extra. You come back. Maybe you tap another 30 minutes. It looks so simple. That's why I love it. Crescent Cafe, right? And on the left here, same interface, but you have more options like the 45 minutes, 3 hours. And that's pretty much it. But what scared me a bit was the bottom here. Here you see system logs, and that's the information for just that particular machine, right? And unlike the rest, this is not cloud-based. You need a separate machine to set up the server and run the administrative interface. And it comes with a free 30-day trial. So this has to be on one PC. So most of those cafes you go in where there's one guy sitting behind one PC, like some small office setting, be like that. You tell him how much you want and he keys it in. Probably they are using Crescent Cafe software. Now, apart from system logs, there is this user logs. And it's likely I've not been able to interact with this software live, but it's likely that whoever is sitting behind this system will be able to keep track of all the sites visited by all the PCs that are online. So it is likely if you go there to go and type, some nefarious websites, or you are looking for something, dare I say, immoral, and decide, hey, if you go incognito self, it's likely somebody is tracking you here. So you may be there in a corner somewhere thinking no one is seeing, no one knows, and somebody, the guy behind the PC, can just peep over and look at you and shake his head like, bro, nah, because he's looking through the logs and he knows the PC and he knows who is there. Well, your secret is not safe. So, well, that was the only scary bit, but this is very user friendly and just it's just so cool. So this is just the gist. This is just a look behind the scenes of what goes on at the internet cafe in your area. Yeah, that's it.